Hello, my name is Michael Monetta. I'm a national director with Wolf-PAC. Thank you for having us here today. Now, every generation of Americans has had their own issues to solve, some bigger than this one, but this is ours. The amount of money that's pouring into our federal elections is out of control, some of it even foreign. It is our generation's greatest duty to restore free and fair elections in this country. And it must be an amendment because only an amendment can go above our runaway Supreme Court and solve this problem for the long run. Now, the hard truth is that this problem has only gotten worse year after year for decades with no solution in sight. Now, we're here to take responsibility for fixing this and for doing what has historically worked to add an amendment to the U.S. Constitution. We're here today to ask you to join us on this vital journey to restore a true representative government in America. It's not going to be easy. It's a long-term vision, and it's not going to happen overnight. But no significant and important change ever does. And that's precisely why we must start today. Now, you may hear from some people today who talk about the idea of a runaway convention. This is a misleading theory because they tend to imply that you can change the Constitution at a convention. This is simply not true. It's not theoretically true, it's not politically true, and it's not legally true. Article 5 is crystal clear that a convention only has the power to propose amendments, the exact same way Congress can propose amendments. Either way, you have the super high 38-state ratification threshold, and if anyone is afraid of 38 states ratifying an amendment to our Constitution, they're not afraid of a convention, they're afraid of democracy itself. Now, you can find both sides of any issue, especially with the internet today, but those who have studied this seriously and extensively have overwhelmingly concluded that the states can call a limited convention and that mechanisms are in place for it to be enforced. Very well-respected scholars like Harvard professor Lawrence Lessig and U.S. Congressperson Jamie Raskin are among some of our biggest proponents, as you guys know. Now, the most American thing any one of us can do is fight for what's right. Our history is littered with champions for justice and democracy. So I'll just leave you guys with a quote from one of them. Martin Luther King Jr. said this 4 days before his death in 1968. It may well be that we have to repent in this generation, not merely for the vitriolic words and violent actions of the bad people, but for the appalling silence and indifference of the good people who sit around and say, wait on time.
Can you please summarize your time?
Yep, this is the end of the quote. Okay. Two more sentences. Somewhere we must come to see that human progress never rolls in on the wheels of inevitability. It comes through the tireless efforts and persistent work of the dedicated individuals who are willing to be co-workers with God. And without this hard work, time itself becomes an ally of the primitive forces of social stagnation. So we must help time and realize that the time is right to do what's right.
Thank you. Next.